what have you seen from them so far? I mean, how much have you looked at, tape and that sort of thing?
Well, I mean, to me, they're a very, very much improved team over last season. I think that staff, what they've done is they've looked at, the individuals that they have and their abilities and what they could do with them or not do with them. They've added quite a bit to their offensive package from a standpoint of both the run game and the pass game. Run a high up-tempo, offense where they're getting the ball off about every 14 seconds, utilizing their athletes in the way they want to and to the best of their ability. I think the other thing that they've done is, Coach Graham and his staff have molded them into the, type of behavior pattern that they want, so they can get those athletes playing the way they want. They're playing much more disciplined, playing with much more confidence. Kelly, the quarterback, can turn a bad play into a big play very quickly, both with design runs for him as well as his ability to scramble in the pocket.
You mentioned Kelly and the fact that they've added a lot to their offense, or added some extra stuff to their offense. Is Kelly's abilities and as a quarterback, was that enabled them to make those additions?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Not only just people overuse the term read zone. I mean, they have opportunities off of each one of their run plays, whether it's a zone, whether it's a sweep with guards pulling, whether it's a counter with guards and tackles pulling. You're not going to do that with a slug at the quarterback. I mean, you're going to do it with a very athletic quarterback that has that type of ability. So, again, they're utilizing their athletes not only the way they want to, because maybe somebody's familiar with that scheme, but they're using that scheme because of the abilities their athletes have, and then specifically Kelly.
They also have a Grice, very good running back. I know that, and then they have a
DeAndre Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's Pac-12 football. I mean, they've got good runners, they've got a good quarterback, they've got quality receivers, and a very solid offensive line. So other than that, we don't have much to worry about. But it's going to be a highly competitive game. We're on the road, and obviously we're looking forward to getting back on the field and getting back in the win column.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay.
What about Grice specifically? Obviously he had to share carries last year. Marshall was there, but this year he sort of emerged as the guy in the backfield, right?
Yeah, good size, very good vision, as far as picking the holes. I think it looks like he has a very good understanding of blocking schemes and how to utilize them to his benefit. And, the stats just show that he's having one heck of a year.
For this week, bye week, I know ASU's a week away now. Do you got any plans for the bye week? Sort of regroup, recharge?
Yeah, I'm gonna continue to look at some more film and dot the I's, cross the T's. Most of the coaches are out on the road. I'm not on the road. We didn't have enough days to do that, but or opportunities to do that, I guess is the way you'd say it. But just continue to work on next week's preparation for the game plan. So as the other defensive coaches are on the road, then once they come back, we're ready to go on Monday full speed.
When you watch the film from UC, what upsets you most, or kind of irks you about what you guys needed to do and couldn't?
Well, every time you take the field, as you approach the game, obviously there's the mechanics of what you do, and execution and the plays that the other team run, and have an understanding of what they do. But then there's the emotional aspect of it. I mean, emotionally we're ready to go for the game, but there's a fine line of where you're at, and the first play of the game was very typical of what side of the line we were on. It wasn't a matter of emotionally unpreparedness. It's just that in that particular pass play, the middle defender, didn't even let the play, develop. Just really antsy about it, and saw aggressive line movement, so he took that as running, and he ends up going downhill on it when he should have been in the deep middle. But then as the game went on, I mean, we would execute on a particular run play, for example, and then turn around and not execute and give up a big one. And then probably the most disappointing factor was the physicality and the finishing on tackles during the course. And again, a lot of that is, one thing I've always said about tackling is if you really want to tackle somebody, you will. And a lot of it has to do with taking that extra step and getting your body on a guy and just wrapping up and taking somebody down, as opposed to, again, not being too anxious and pull the trigger too soon and not get right up on his toes to perform that tackle.
You talked about the physicality, and that was something that wasn't an issue against Stanford. A lot of guys felt that they were at that level. The Cardinal even maybe exceeded at times. That probably, was there any hangover from that game, you think, and that kept the team from having that same level of physicality that they had?
No. If I had an answer to it, I'd obviously, tell you. But no, I don't think so. We came out pretty good, with the exception of DJ Alexander. But we backed off a little bit, from the physicality of practicing, and just so that we were fresher and things of that nature. More assignment conscious and technique conscious and things of that nature. But no, I mean, again, only the players could answer that. But it seemed like we had good energy as the week closed, and we closed in on the game. And then we never gained any kind of rhythm or momentum during the course of that game, and kind of flatlined a little bit. And once you get hit, on a big play, here and there, and things aren't going your way, everybody has a tendency to start maybe looking around a little bit, and now that's something that you definitely have to correct. And, you can't worry about that. I mean, we should have been over that in the Eastern Washington game. I know after that first play that we gave up, I just told the defense, hey, number one, just refocus, and number two, it's over. The shutout's gone. Now let's go get this thing. And we ended up even in the score up at 14. We had new life, and that momentum never came to us, and that consistency of the way we were playing never came to us, and therefore, the outcome wasn't what we wanted.
Last one from me.
I've been asking guys this week about sort of the mental state of the team. Jabril said something yesterday where he felt like guys were getting a little down on each other during the game. Do you feel like guys have to? I know it's tough to have fun when you're losing, but have to get back to that sort of youthful enthusiasm that was so apparent during the 6-game winning streak. Do you think that can help at all, or is that sort of an overrated thing?
Well, I reminded the players today, as we closed out this week for practice, that even though we didn't string 7 games in a row, the 7th game that we lose to Stanford, I felt that was one of the best games that we had played all year. We had 4 or 5 hiccups in that game that ended up being very costly, and you can't do that against a good football team. But at the same time, there were so many great things that happened in that game, and you've got to remember that. So much of competition and so much of life is the mental state, and it's up to us, myself especially, as the leader of the group, is to make sure these guys understand that you can't worry about what went on in the past. You just have to go forward and play every play, and then even during the course of the game, what you always want to do is just play, and don't look up at the scoreboard, whether it's in your favor or whether it's in the other way, like the Cal game. I mean, I thought we played throughout the game and just kept going after them and going after them and going after them. And as you said, when you're having success, obviously it's a lot easier to do. Well, then that's the character of your team, and can you keep pushing when things aren't going the way you want to? And as I said last week, we crawled back into that thing and evened it back up, and now, let's go. So, you just have to continue to remind them. I mean, they're young men, college-age men, and then, you got to continue to help them through that.